Dream to be 75, internal sunshine, welcome, true, no lies. Thank you, Kenneth, thank you for sharing, I appreciate it. Hey, Talisa, good morning, internal sunshine. I love that handle. Hello. Get some Carmex, that's all chapped up. Hey, good morning, Hulk. I got my Carmex going. I got my Carmex and my two-step, What's going on, Coach Sam? Hey, Marsha Barnes. Use beeswax. None of your beeswax. I'll try to use beeswax. I will. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Nicole Hawk. Thanks for being in here. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you so much, Coach Sam. Yes, economics. Diamond Q 1975. Thanks for being here, inviting people. Thank you, Nicole Hawk. Hey, Beth Hoover. I caught your scope the other day. It was awesome. I loved it. Hey, Kathy E. Smith, thanks for being in here. I appreciate you inviting people. Thanks for being in here today. I appreciate today's money. Hey, how's it going, Funky in Spirit? Purple shirts for your purple. I love it. Purple hearts or purple shirts. Thank you so much. Sherry M, Donna, Coach Sam, everybody. First time on my scope. You're a newbie. I dig it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I do a lot of my scopes in the car. Yeah, I do a lot of my scopes in the car. I don't know why I got my engine on. Let me turn the car off. Boom. All right, that's better. What car am I driving? What car are you driving today? It's the only car I got. I don't got a garage full of cars, but it's a cool car. It's nice, it's whatever. What's going on? Also, Sandy, thanks for being in here. You're in for a blessing. I appreciate that, True No Lies. I really appreciate that. Marsha Barnes, how's it going? Not yet. You'll get there. Exactly. Everything is everything you do today is for the next day. Hey, Miss Carter, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being in here, everybody. How many of you are new right now? Hey, Sharon, how's it going? Good morning, Sharon. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat box if you are new. What's going on? Good vibes, good life. I haven't seen you in a minute. Just about to make a video application for an internship. Got any tips? Send me an email, a video application for an internship. That's good. Just ask them to be quick. 30 seconds, 60. Thanks so much for new people. If you're going to do an application for video internship, 30 to 60 seconds quick. Who are you? What do you do? And why do you want to be here? That's kind of the things I would ask. Something that quick. Thank you so much, Beth, everybody. Thanks for inviting people. All right. I asked you guys to do 2 things for me and 2 things only. First thing is to invite your friends and followers. Please do me a favor and get people in here. If you saw the title of the scope and you like the things that I'm going to talk about today, do me a huge favor and invite some friends in here. Invite your followers. I try to deliver. The second thing is to give me a bunch of hearts. I'm asking, please may I have some hearts from you guys. Just heart it up if you like what I'm saying. Just tap the heck out of that screen as you're listening. I try to do scopes every single morning throughout the week, except and maybe once or twice on the weekends, and I take a break for the most part. Let me tell you who I am. So there's a few handful of people who are new, and a lot of people, majority of people are kind of regulars. But let me tell you who I am. My name is Ebongeka. I'm a certified public accountant in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm also the author of the best-selling business book, Start Me Up, the No Business Plan, which helps you take your idea to the marketplace. It helps you take your idea and start a business without having a business plan, right? Your ideas, your expertise, everything you have, your experience, you turn it into the business. And it gives you the steps that are quicker than writing a whole business plan and wasting your time. The third thing is I'm also the founder of economics, as Coach Sam had mentioned in here. Economics is a small business as well as life coaching consultancy. Those things are intertwined, right? We focus on your mission, your mindset, and your money, and we wrap those 3 things together in order to live a life of happiness, of fruitfulness, and purposeless. So if you don't have that purpose in your life, those are the things you got to do. Tips for an H&R Block consultant. I don't have any tips for an H&R Block consultant. Become an EA, become a CPA, and then do it yourself. Tips for a substitute teacher. I don't know. There's so many things, man. It's whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do has been accomplished by other people. That's it. Yeah, it's cloudy outside, as you can see. It's cloudy outside. But there's so many things that have been accomplished by other people. There are people who come on Scopes and they go on YouTube and they watch everything and they watch and they spend all their time reading and they don't take any action. And very simply put, The main thing you got to focus on if you're looking for tips for something, one tip you get from me or anybody else is not going to change your life. Hopefully what happens is it helps build up a series of actions that you can take, right? To the point where you start acting automatically. So someone who plays basketball, someone who plays whatever else is harder for that. You can. Hey, Coach Sam, reach out to me, man. Send me an email at info@ebongeka.com. That's my email address, info@ebongeka.com, my first and my last name, and just info at. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about, I can't write that down, and I can't write it. Obviously, I'm in the scope, so I can't really write that down either. You're at VCU? Mr. Johnson, Kenneth Johnson, you're at VCU? But info@ebongeka.com, info@ebongeka.com, ebongeka.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about your past being a present. Your past being a present for your future. If that makes any sense. Your past, there's so many people, a lot of you, some of you may be watching my scope right now. There's so many people who are watching my scope, people I've met in my life, people I speak in front of. They're stuck. Like whatever happened to them in the past, they've allowed it to dictate who they are. They've allowed it to dictate how they see themselves, how other people see them, right? And so as a result, they end up getting stuck. They end up getting stuck in the past and where they are, and they can't focus on their present. But you got to understand that there's two things. The first thing is, whatever happened to you in the past doesn't define who you are today, especially if there's been growth. The second thing is, whatever happened in the past is to help you get forward towards your future. Yes, happy birthday, Curly Hair Designs. Happy birthday. Thank you also, Sandy. And so you got to understand this simple principle. Whatever happened in your past, you got to be able to use it for your good. Let me give you an example. So I had setbacks, right? We've all made mistakes. We've all had problems. And so I played professional basketball for 2 years in Europe. And very simply put, it took me years to be able to get to that place, right? I had setbacks where I literally were reaching out to over hundreds of people, right? I came from a school that no one's ever heard of. I ended up spending most of my time while everybody was interviewing for jobs. Everybody was getting ready to live their life and buying a house and getting married and all that kind of stuff. I was focused on what my goal was. The goal was to play professional basketball, even if it was for a year, even if it was for 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. Exactly. We've all failed. And I continued and consistently send emails. People don't understand this piece. They don't get it. The grind it continues. You can't grind for half your life and then not grind for the rest. You can't grind. You can't not have grind for years and all of a sudden pick it up and start going. Nothing in life happens that way. Growth doesn't happen that way. Anything that's built in your life hasn't happened that way. Success doesn't happen that way. Nothing in general happens that way. There has to be a sense of momentum. And so how momentum works is, hey, what's going on, Marianne Evans? So the way momentum works is you start taking incremental steps. You use things that happened to you in the past to start building your present and eventually build your future. So when I was before I started playing professional basketball, I was in college. I couldn't get anybody to listen to anything I was saying. I created tapes. I saw that people were interviewing to try and get jobs in accounting firms. I interviewed with one accounting firm. They told me no. Right? They didn't give me an offer. Right? They had a hope. It was Arthur Anderson. Maybe that was a good idea. That was a good thing for me. So the thing is, after that happened, I decided to burn the boats. There's a saying that a lot of people will use called burn the boats. And the story behind burning the boats is back in ancient Troy. What they did was they literally went to sack Athens or the Greek islands or wherever they were going to fight, right? They came off with ships. They literally burned all the ships because the only way they were going to survive is that they had to take the island and take the castle. You understand what I'm saying? Right? There's so many people who have plan Bs and just in case plans. And as a result, you don't fully commit to what you want to do in your life. And so so part of it for me was I had to burn the boats and I had to use everything that I'd known in my power to be able to get to where I wanted to go. There's no guarantees, and I'm not telling you right now as I say this to you, there's going to be a guarantee. So what happened for me was I burned the boats. From there, I started working really hard. I started creating a web page. Just back in 98, 99, I created a web page. People weren't creating web pages in 98, 99 without spending lots of money. I did it for free, right? Because I learned how to do it. I worked. Second thing was I created a tape. I found out people who were in Europe. Built relationships with them. They gave me all the information of all the teams in Western Europe. Okay. At night, during the day, I would go work out, play basketball, right, and lift. And at night, after 5 o'clock, from 5 to midnight, I was working at a commercial janitorial company, cleaning office buildings, taking out the trash, mopping the floors, cleaning the commercial kitchens, right? Doing minor construction at night from 5 p.m. to about midnight. I'd come home about midnight and I'd make phone calls from 12:30 to about 3 or 4 in the morning every single day. Every single day. People not answering, me leaving messages. I'd make a phone call, I'd send an email, then I would send a tape. Phone call, email, tape. Phone call, email, tape. You don't understand. You don't get it. This is not, very few things in life that are worth pursuing come easily. Almost nothing does. Even the people who win the lottery, nothing after that. Their life never is the same. It actually gets worse because they hadn't cultivated what was needed inside of them in order to be able to sustain that. So whatever their talent took them to, their character couldn't sustain it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I had to grind. So I had that setback every single day. It was hard every single day to continue to do that and be told no. I got told no hundreds of times. When I wrote my best-selling book, I was told my book would never be a bestseller. I was told that no one would ever want to buy my book. I was told by publishers, by literary agents, by people who were in the business, people who knew this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So if I looked at my past, I use my past as a present to my present and a present to my future. Now, if I had not had a prior experience of my past, I would not have been able to use that today to be able to get the book deal, to be able to turn that into a bestseller. You understand what I'm saying? So the same thing. And when I've had setbacks, I've had businesses that I've started that have failed. I use the experience that I learned to move forward, to build a business where it is today. So for me to be able to do those things, you got to look back with perspective. Some people will look back and say, I failed, therefore I am a failure. Just because you fail doesn't make you a failure. It just means that what you tried at that time didn't work. And so for Monday, I got to get it to you. I got to get these principles to you that I want you to understand that whatever is happening in your life, whatever circumstances you have today, whatever grind that you're trying to accomplish, whatever worry you have, whatever fear that you're concerned with, whatever situation is consuming you, this is only temporary. You got to believe it. It is only temporary. Everything is temporary, right? Everything is temporary. Thank you so much, Marsha Barnes. Exactly. Marsha Barnes, I'm so happy and proud of her. I had a chance to finally meet her at a financial conference that I spoke at in Charlotte, North Carolina. Marsha Barnes, I didn't know this until she told me, but she had my book and she used my book to start the finance bar. Now, if you don't know what the finance bar is, really simply put, it's a school bus. She said, if you can put food service, if you can put kitchens on a food truck, right? If you can put kitchens on a food truck, you can teach people financial literacy. So what she does is she outfitted the school bus to teach financial literacy to students, to middle school and high school. She recently just signed a deal with the Mecklenburg School District in the Charlotte, North Carolina area to teach financial literacy. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it all started with a vision. It all started with a goal, with a dream. And then she created the roadmap and she found it. But she always says that my book helped her navigate a lot of things, and I'm really appreciative of saying that. That's why I want to share a story with you, because not only that, but also my book can help you. But again, if your goals and dreams aren't aligned to what you're trying to do, it's not going to work. All right, and you got to look back. The only reason you're looking back, like you can see, I'm in a car right now. Look. Let me do this real quick. See that? This is the rear view. This is the rear view mirror, right? And this is the windshield. The windshield and the rear view mirror are always different sizes for a reason. You do have to look back in some cases, right? And sometimes, but your majority of your life is spent looking through the windshield. But in this case, looking back is to give you perspective on where you are, what you've passed, and what you've learned in the process. Too many people spend half of their time, majority of the time, looking in the rear view mirror and not looking in the windshield. And then they end up crashing into things and they don't understand. And then they ask themselves, why is this happening to me? So I got to let you guys know that you got to understand that everything you're going through right now is temporary. Everything that you're dealing with right now is temporary. And this is only part of whatever's to help you in the present is going to be exactly what your future needs, what your future holds. Learning from what you go through today. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to thank you guys for listening. Yes, do not live in the past. I'm so happy for you, Narvel. I want you to focus on your dreams and goals so intently that when people start looking at you, they think you're crazy, right? When people are looking at you, they don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. They're like, why are you doing this? This is ridiculous, right? Why don't you just get a job like everybody else? When you're grinding at night, when people are worried about trick-or-treating, when people are worried about going to a club, when people are worried about partying, watching the Super Bowl, you are grinding for your dreams. Why? Because at some point in time, no one's going to remember the last party they went to. When you're lying on your deathbed, you're not going to be able to remember that last party you went to. When something happens to you, you're not going to worry about that party. When you can't pay your bills, you're not going to sit there and ask yourself, did I have a good time at that party? Was that parade amazing? You're not going to care about those things, right? I want you to celebrate once you've gotten what you want, right? There's no reason in life that we can't live. There's no reason in life that we can't live the life that we deserve, that we desire, right? That we prosper for. And so there's so many people who struggle because they don't believe they have what it takes. And they don't look back and pull out what they've learned from their past and take it to their future so that they can actually have perspective on it. And so you see people like Steph Curry, right? He's killing it, right? He's killing it. He scored like 52 points last game. And people are like, oh, he's amazing. What people don't understand about Steph Curry is simple. What they don't understand about Steph Curry is simple. He works harder than almost anybody else I've ever heard of in my life. Always hurting. Thank you, Marsha Barnes. And he literally works so hard. Drills, incremental differences. It's the little things that matter. It's not the big things. And so we're waiting for people to help us out. We're waiting for a hookup. I've released all that energy. When I released all the energy of waiting for people to hook me up, my life came together. Thank you so much, Patricia. I appreciate that. What's going on, Bobby Digital? Bobby Digital. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Coach Sam. You are the man. Can't wait to catch your scopes, Coach Sam. You guys are phenomenal. I want you to enjoy. I want you to have a great Monday. I want your Monday to be where you plant your seeds, right? This is the last analogy I'm going to throw. And this is something that I always say as a separate scope. But for the most part, I want you to remember this. Drills, incremental, exactly. Drills, incremental difference. Stop wasting time waiting for people to hook you up. Exactly. The thing is this. Life is like the changing seasons. And if some of you who know of Jim Rohn, he always used to say that. Tony Robbins is the same thing. But if you look at the analogy of seasons, how seasons work. Thank you, Nicole Hawk. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you. And if you look at how seasons work, it comes always, right? Summer always comes. Winter always comes, regardless of where you are. Those seasons will always come. The thing is this, looking at it from a farming perspective, in the spring is when you plant your crops, and when you plant your seeds, is when you think about what you want, and you plant it, and you plant everything according to your heart. You get your soil ready. You get yourself ready, right? You cannot just go to barren desert and start throwing seeds around and come back by the fall and expect something to grow there. The thing is, so many people behave that way. They say, oh, I got an idea, I got a dream, I got a vision, and they don't do anything about it. And then they wonder, and then they can look back and say, oh, the economy, the president, these people, that had nothing to do with it. Did you do everything you could do? Did you owe yourself? You said you owe yourself something. Did you do everything you could do in your power, in order to get your garden going? What's going on, Kara Allen? Hey. So that's a question you got to ask yourself. It's very simply put. And so when you plant in the spring, the fall is when you reap. You plant in the spring, the fall is when you reap. Thank you so much, Patricia. I really appreciate you purchasing the book. Thank you so much, True No Lies. I mean, you got greatness in you, man. We got greatness inside of us. The Kings, we got to pull it out. That's it. It's all within us. I've talked to so many people who have a sense of belief that they can't do anything. And because they think they can't do anything, they can't do anything and they don't do anything, right? You plant in the spring and in the fall is when you reap. You know, the Bible scripture says you reap what you sow. People use that negatively, but that wasn't the intent. If you look at the context of everything it was in, you reap what you sow. No, it's basically, which if you look at it on a positive way, if you don't sow, if you don't sow, you cannot reap. If you don't know how to sow, you have to learn how to beg in the fall because you haven't planted your crops, you haven't planted your vision, you haven't planted your message, you haven't planted anything you wanted. And then you wonder why there are other people living the lives that you want to live. It's not a surprise. It's not a secret, right? It's the same story every single time I meet a person who's worth tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. It's the same story. But what you go on, you'll hear narrative is, oh, they got inherited wealth. I have friends who talk like that. Oh, inherited wealth. If it was hard, if the guy was a black person, that I was like, I had a dude who told me that it was hard for me to get my book. The reason, And if I was a white person, I would get my book, I'd get a book published. He didn't understand he's just talking out of his ass, right? Whether or not that's true or not, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to me, right? He's talking out of his ass. He's a nice guy. I like him, but I don't, it's fine. What's going on, Trey Jones, right? But you got to understand that sense of belief keeps him restricted, because if you believe if you believe something's out of your power, you won't do the things that'll get to you that'll get you close to that place, right? If you believe you can't get a book published because of a race or a gender or something like that, then you won't do the incremental things to get to the point to get the book published. And so there are people who behave that way. There's so many people who think that way, who behave that way. And they don't take the steps or take the action to do what they know they need to be doing to get closer to their dreams and goals. I'm not living like that. We all got to go. So if I'm going to go, I'm going to die empty. That is my mantra. So if that's the case, I want you all to do the same thing. Just hustle for your last name. Hustle to get your dreams out. Hustle to get your vision out. And just try to grind. Now, just to remind you lastly, whatever happened to you in the past does not define who you are. It's a present to your present and a present to your future. You got to make sure you got to get that piece. One thing I want to let you guys know is on Wednesday, I'm going to be hosting a webinar. Like, I'm launching a new program. I'm not selling anything, so don't worry. I'm launching a new program to help people get. What's going on, Dr. Watkins? I'm launching a new program to help people get media attention. It's kind of like it's like a mini course to teach people how I get media attention. So a lot of you may or may not know, but in addition to me being a best-selling author, before I was a best-selling author, I was a TV finance contributor, small business contributor for like Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, Arise Television, China Central, a whole bunch. I write for the Huffington Post as well, Office Depot. I partner with big brands like banks. Like some of the major banks to do content with them. And so what I'm trying to say with you guys is I literally learned over the last 6 years how you're able to take your ideas and concepts in your brand and create a brand that which you can partner with. You can partner with other brands with. And I literally, I've helped people even on Periscope. People on Periscope, this guy on Periscope, Keith Maurice, gave some insight as to how to structure to get sponsorships for his new site, playforstuff.com. So these are things that I've learned over the last 5-6 years. So I'm doing basically a webinar on how to get media attention, and I'm doing a series of these, but they're different subjects. So the first one you got to learn, we're going to talk about traditional media, how that works, and why it's hard for so many people to try and get on television or get on the radio or to get on blogs, get featured on podcasts. And I literally do all that stuff on a regular basis. Every week I'm doing something. So it is not because I built momentum, but again, I've created a system. Writing, the way I write my segments, I teach them how I literally write the segments for the show. So all you need to do is plug that sucker in. So things like that I've learned over time that nobody taught me, I didn't pay for. I paid a PR person, publicist once a couple years ago, about $1,000 or whatever, and she got me one appearance. It was a waste of time. So the best way to get it is to go to my site. You can get my one-page blueprint, and I think it'll give you an option to that. Once you sign in, I'm going to send an email out today to people who sign up for the one-page blueprint. It's how to grab mediaattention.com. Very simple. How to grab media attention. Someone can put it in the chat for me. It's how to grab mediaattention.com. How to grab mediaattention.com. You can sign up for that. It's a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably be for an hour. I'll do some Q&A, and then I'm going to do a series of scopes leading up to that too. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Marcia Barnes. Yes, you can screenshot this, how to grab mediaattention.com. You can check it out. Put in your email address, whatever information, and then from there, after you get the blueprint, it'll send you the page for the webinar. And if you don't, I will send an email out later today for people to be able to do that. So to the link is all this webinar gems. The link's all crazy, so I don't want to say it all. I want to try and create a thing for it. Okay. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. I got to do some stuff. And I love you guys. You guys are phenomenal. I want you guys to have an amazing day. Dominate your Monday. Monday doesn't define you. What happens to you in the past doesn't define you. All you have is today to take over what you want to do and to use your gifts and your goals and get to where you know you deserve to be. That's it. Love you guys. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you, Nicole Hawk. I can't now. This thing with sucker won't turn off. Let's get it. Thank you, Donna. God bless.